Alright, this is the Justin Gaethje versus. Everybody's asking me right now, hey man, we need that versus. Hey, Quickies, we need that versus. Hey man, you know you gotta do a versus on Justin, man, so just do it. So I said, fuck it, I'm staying up. I saw Razum in the comments, he said, man, hey, burn the midnight oil, motherfucker, so let's do it. Let's just get into it, man. Justin Gaethje, we already know the story, man. Undefeated, former wrestler, heavy-handed, motherfucker likes to do a backflip off the fucking octagon, even if he's in a drunken fucking stupor after the fight or not. I mean, that shit was funny to me. But when we're talking about who should he fight next, I think it's safe to say, after coming to the UFC as a reigning champion at a different organization, giving up his belt, coming to the UFC for the opportunity, coming to the UFC for those 3 letters, coming to the UFC, losing out on sponsorship money potentially, and coming to the UFC and defeating a top 5 guy in his first fight, and most importantly, coming to the UFC and entertaining the fucking fans. That's what I really value. All the other shit you could throw all that other bullshit away. I was entertained. Were you not entertained? If you weren't entertained, I don't know what the fuck I don't even know what fucking gets your heart fucking pumping. I don't even know. Now, with that being said, we're talking about the next fight for him, man. We're talking about Tony Ferguson, Gaethje. We're talking about Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Russian Road, and we're talking about Edson Barboza. These are the fights that make sense for this man. I don't think he has to go through the full fucking roster to prove that he's a top guy. I don't think that a former champion that gave up his belt to come to the UFC and then beat a top 5 fighter and put on an entertaining fight for the fans and cash the fuck out on everybody tonight, I don't think he has to fight number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck no. No, you get to skip the line when you put on entertaining fans, entertaining fights, and then when you have the credentials to back it up too. I mean, what else can we ask for? This is where I'm going to start. I'm starting with Edson Barboza. Edson Barboza is a long-time UFC fighter. He has a decent amount of fans, no hardcore fans. Hardcore fans respect him. He has 0 casual fans. I think at this moment, Justin Gaethje has too much momentum to fight him right now. You have to keep in mind what's going to happen. We seen what happened to Edson Barboza in big fights time and time again. He starts off strong just like Michael Johnson did tonight. Land a leg kick, head kicks, good movement. One punch touches that chin. That motherfucking knees are knocking all fucking night. They're fucking swinging. Hey, do you guys remember those click-clackers when you're a kid? Like, it's like a little handle, and then there's like balls on it, and you go click-clack, click-clack. Hey, that's how fucking Edson Barboza's skinny-ass knees just be fucking on Queer Street, rattling back and forth together every single time that chin is tested. I don't want to see Justin Gaethje take a possible step backwards in a fight with Edson Barboza, because Edson could catch him with something really hard, can't catch him with a wheel kick, and it's like, okay, well, it was fun for a second. But I think at the end of the day, since Justin Gaethje does have the wrestling pedigree, I think if shit really hit the fan where he's in trouble, he's gonna say, you know what? Let me take down Edson Barboza and lay on top of him. I'm not saying that he's a lay on top of you type of fighter, but he does have that in his toolbox. And then the fight's literally over because Edson doesn't work off of his back. He never has worked off of his back. He's horrible off of his back. Edson Barboza, you're X'd out. Next person. Ranked number 2. Should be ranked number 1. Gaethje. Been looking for a fight for about 3 months. Nobody wants to fight him. Nate Diaz doesn't want to fight him. Conor McGregor said, I'd rather cash a $100 million paycheck. Not mad at that. Khabib said, hey motherfucker, I can't make weight. That tiramisu was too rich and premium for me to not eat that just to fight you. Then, not only did he do that, then he said, I must do Ramadan and pay homage to my religion instead of fight you. And that's his prerogative. I'm not mad at him because I don't give a fuck about him. I'm just saying, right now, in my opinion, Tony Ferguson is actually the #1 contender for that division. There's no one ranked above him except for the man with the GOAT, Conor McGregor. Tony Ferguson, they should have updated the fucking rankings and put him as the #1 contender and moved Khabib down by default, or removed him from the fucking rankings until that tiramisu eating motherfucker can make way. Period. So with that being said, no, absolutely not. Justin Gaethje does not deserve a #1 contender fight against Tony Ferguson. Because I'm just saying, for example, he doesn't have a name big enough in the UFC. I mean, everybody knows his name tonight. He doesn't have a big enough name to beat Tony Ferguson because he doesn't really get any kudos for that outside of the hardcore fans. The casual fans aren't going to blow up Justin Gaethje's name with the win over Michael Johnson and a win over Tony Ferguson. He's not going to have a name to headline a pay-per-view against Conor McGregor at that point. It just wouldn't make business sense. Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson would be epic. Two motherfuckers with a man on deck, both could take a punch. Tony Ferguson goes on Queer Street. We saw Justin Gaethje fucking on his skates tonight, fucking slipping and sliding too. But Tony Ferguson fight IQ is definitely higher than Justin Gaethje because he will actively go for the submission. He will give you some walk-in elbows. He will fucking pull guard and actually try to finish the fight. But what does it do for the bottom line, which is $1? If Justin Gaethje defeated Tony Ferguson, it doesn't make sense to say Conor McGregor loses to fucking Floyd Mayweather, now he's fighting Justin Gaethje. Everyone's like, what the fuck is a Justin Gaethje? No, doesn't make sense. So Tony, you stay in your lane. We already know who's left. Khabib Nurmagomedov, undefeated fighter versus undefeated fighter. 18-0 Justin Gaethje versus 24-0. We already said Khabib has a padded record. And what's inside of the pad? Tiramisu, we already know that. I'm not gonna stay on that topic though. Undefeated fighter versus undefeated fighter. National wrestling champion multiple times, Justin Gaethje versus multiple time world champion. What the fuck does he do again? Khabib's fucking technique from Russia. I forgot what it is at the moment. No disrespect on that part. What the fuck is it called? Not Krav Maga. Sambo. Multiple world champion in Sambo. Khabib Nurmagomedov, also an undefeated fighter. Now, this is a storyline. Undefeated versus undefeated. Justin Gaethje came on, boom, made a splash, boom, new to the UFC, but he's been a champion at a different organization. Now, we say Khabib already beat Michael Johnson, Justin beat Michael Johnson. It makes sense for these two guys to meet right in the middle. Now, if they booked this fight, undefeated versus undefeated, put this shit on Fox, FS1, or Big Fox, because this is the thing. You don't want to put Khabib on the main stage when you know that he's gonna wrestle fuck all night. So what you have to do is put him in there with the guy that could actually protect himself. I would say Tony Ferguson, but it's been booked so many times, I'm not interested in it. Apparently the MMA guys are saying no. They keep writing it down, they keep balling up the paper, scrapping it. They keep writing it down, scrapping it. Khabib versus a guy that could stuff the takedowns, that could wrestle with him enough to keep the fight on the feet. Put Khabib's ass in the fire. Show him that, you know what's more important to you right now at this point in your career? Is it Ramadan? Is it tiramisu? Is it fucking fighting multiple times a year? Is it actually having an active MMA career? We cannot afford to have you pull out of another fucking fight the day of. Or, come in. I can't make the fucking weigh. Oh shit, okay, it's a second weigh-in. I have 2 hours to make the weigh-in. Give me a second, guys. My other phone is ringing. I cannot make the weight. When does it stop? Everybody has to be responsible and accountable for what happens with their career. Khabib hasn't taken his career serious. When you're not fighting multiple times a year, you really don't give a fuck. When you threaten to retire because you got injured a couple of times and you know that you train at AKA, everybody gets injured at AKA a couple of times. You cannot, you're not taking your career serious. When you choose to eat fucking cake and ice cream and shit before a huge fight that you're headlining or co-headlining, you're not taking your fight serious enough. Your career serious enough. Right now, give it to the hungry man. Let Justin Gaethje fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. The winner of that fight fights Tony Ferguson. Conor's going to be off after this Floyd Mayweather fight. Whoever wins that fight fights Tony Ferguson. Whoever wins that fight fights Conor McGregor. That's it. Versus Justin Gaethje versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. That is the fight that makes sense right now. I don't know what else to say. Man, fuck it. It is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comments.